what this story actually is about a person who is trying to run away from whatever they had on their home front. And the villain, because again, these moments are so unrealistic, but they're all about like, what would you do? You have the choice. Like there's the knife against your neck. There's this girl tied between a truck, and another thing at one point, like I'll leave that a little bit, but there's all these situations of like, are you going to decide what you, and I'm not saying this in a positive way, but like it's about like you've just decided to leave your whole life behind. And now you're going to this other place for grass is always greener on the other side. And you're going through the desert. And these are your demons chasing you down. And the real reason why I feel that this story is more of a thematic masterpiece than a storytelling masterpiece about something that could quote unquote actually happen, like, is we never learn about the background of the villain. We never learn about what happens to him other than what happens to him at the end. Right. There's no conclusion of the story. It is like Fight Club. It is like the villain is basically like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. And it's just you know what I mean?
Yeah, to your point, I think that John Ryder is the embodiment of not only like demons in the world, but of pure nihilism. He does not care. He is like, there's a point in which so like there's the chick from the diner, Nash, that Jim picks up that believes in him, and there's one point where he had not just one point, several opportunities where he could have just killed them on the spot, no problem. And she yells at Jim like, "Why didn't he kill us?" But that's not his game.
Exactly.
He is there because he doesn't care. And
also the reason he doesn't kill Jim is because he's an embodiment of himself. Like anyways, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah.
Well, that's fine. But so John Ryder is just a force of nihilism, feeding into what you're saying about like demons that you have to cross, like because the world is uncaring about you as you work yourself through it. He really you mentioned the truck scene, where, I mean, that is like, if anyone's seen The Hitcher, that is the scene that people tend to think about. And like that part of that, there's two things about that scene that I want to talk about. A is like when he's in the cab with John Ryder, and John Ryder places a gun in between the seat between them, and says, "I want you to hold it." Or you know what you have to do. And then he's holding the gun to his face, and he says, "Well, she'll die." And he just calls him a coward and rips her in half anyway, which was going to happen anyway. And the other part of
can I just really quickly interject? I'm sorry. That was really one of the major clues to me that this was a theme more than a story, was that like to me, what that represented, the girl being ripped in half, whether he did something or not, was like the feeling of when we leave home, we have these people that we care about that we leave behind, and we feel like we can do, if we're around, if we don't leave to do the thing that we need to do, right? Like, but if we're around, I can save this person, but you're not going to. You can pull that trigger, she's going to die either way. Like no matter what happens. People's destiny is already predetermined. And so, like, that is the point I felt that they were trying to make with that fucking semi scene and the girl in between it all.
You can be proactive, but it's not going to change other people's fate.
Exactly.
And the other side of that scene and other scenes in the movie that I would like to point out, part of the reason that I feel this film is so good is that it's not a gory film. As much gore is implied, it leaves much to the imagination, and that is partially because of like the rating, like the movie rating period, like the way movies were rated at the time to get released. But I think that honestly made it better in comparison to the 2007 remake, where which I know you haven't seen. I saw it when it came out.
I got interested because I liked this movie so much, and then I saw there was a remake. Like, maybe I need to watch that. But you're saying not so much.
No, so in the 2007 remake, John Ryder is played by Sean Bean of Lord of the Rings fame. He played Boromir.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I know who that is.
He also some like made for TV little show that I doubt anyone has heard of. He played some guy named Ned in Game of Thrones. But
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What's
like,
that?
Who cares, right? Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it, honestly. But
I've seen 3 episodes.
In that movie, in that remake, all of the gore that was implied is like way overdone and like thrown in your face, and it kind of ruins it. Honestly, like it kind of ruins it, like because all the charm is gone, and it just turns into a bloody like slasher when like I feel like that misses the point of the original movie.
100%. I mean, I can't make a judgment without actually having seen it, but what I can say is that there's a scene where, and I already mentioned this, and like you said, we're not feeling bad about spoilers because this movie came out. This movie's as old as I am, basically, so we're not gonna feel too bad about spoilers. But one of the most chilling scenes is when he gets out of the jail cell, and before you see what has happened, you hear the dog licking. There's really good use of sound. So you just hear, and then it comes around the corner and the German Shepherd is just licking the blood off the like dead policeman's fucking neck, like in the corner there. Like, that's pretty fucking chilling. You don't need to see like how that all happened. Like, that's good enough that like he's like, and so the cinematography is beautiful. They take all these like fucking like scenes from like down low, angled up. Like I don't know how to explain it because I'm not a cinematographer. I'm not a person into cinema. I couldn't explain it the way I explain music, but they take so many shots that like you're right in the action, and then they like set it back, and it looks like the good, the bad, the ugly. But then to just go back into this sound is Stranger Things, which is a show that a lot of people can relate to these days. Like, they went for the 80s aesthetic, and they use like the dudes who made the music for Stranger Things, I think actually won a bunch of awards. Then they use this really creepy like synth music that we remember from the 1980s. This movie is so good. It almost looks like it could have been made today as like a copy of like what a 1980s movie should sound and look like. And then just back to the original point is, so dude's coming out of his jail cell and you're wondering what the fuck's going on. And you don't know at this point because he just keeps getting found, keeps getting fucked with. It's just, you just don't know. And you're lost in the, like, is this guy going to get him again? Where's this story going? Right. It gets out, and then you just hear, and it turns a corner. There's a dog just licking a dead policeman. It's fucking, it is good. Not good. Like, that sounded weird the way I phrased that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, and I think the reason it's creepy as fuck, aside from like as we've both touched on several times, like the cinematography is great, like these wide shots of the landscape and backlit shots and like these like all these different great camera angles, but the movie really does make you feel the entire time that even though John Ryder, you don't see him for a lot of the movie, you always feel like he's just around the corner. Like, he has to be.
So
it does a lot.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, so like I just want to add on to that. This is like kind of the nail in the coffin moment when I realized that John Ryder is an idea, not an actual person. Is the coffee shop scene at Roy's Cafe when he just suddenly shows up, he gives kid the bullets and then is suddenly gone, and they have that whole like moment like at the table, and he pounds his hand on the table and scares the shit out of the kid. Like that's when I realized this is the kid.
Yeah.
Just he's trying to come to terms with everything that's happening. And
that is a great scene at Roy's Cafe where like the kid's holding the gun under the table for more context, and the John Ryder tells him there's no bullets in that gun. He's like, yes.
And how would he know? How would he know there's no bullets in that gun?
And he's like, well, you can pull the trigger, but you can be assured I'll pull mine. And he's just holding a finger gun under the table, and he bangs it against the underside of the table, bang, and scares the shit out of him. And then he's just gone. And,
he's just gone. So like, I really think like that was actually so John Ryder knew that there were no bullets in the gun. He's feeding on the fear of this kid. Again, this is just where I think it's thematic. It's thematic at this point. You know, it's like not really that this dude is able to take out 80 police officers, you know, like all of El Paso, like all of like Texas's, you know, like and New Mexico's. Like I think it's a kid just being chased down by like what haunts him and him coming to terms with it. Like that's what I took from the movie. But I'm sure we could all take a billion different things. Either way, gotta watch it. 2 thumbs up from Nick Roberts. Appreciate
3 thumbs up. I have deformed hands. I got so sick of trick-or-treaters on Halloween night that I finally turned off all the lights and pretended I wasn't home. Forget the ships. My lighthouse, my rules.
Oh, yeah.
What were you saying?
Oh, no, I forgot. God damn it.
Does this help?
Helps me.
You remember now? How about now?
Ooh. Ooh.
This was just called horror sex. Okay.
That's what that sounds like.
Yeah, I guess. And what's your thought?
God damn it. What were we talking about? I had a good
I don't know, fucking like I gave a stupid joke about Boney Sanders.
Oh, and then we were talking about him being from Vermont.
Yeah.
And then fucking who cares?
Okay, great. Well, oh Jesus. Well, if you're done, thank you so much for joining us on our little creepy escapade. This has been the Loose Stool with Matt and Nick. I think we're going to start back on a fairly regular schedule in the near future. But just keep subscribe to our feed.
Just dib before you dib, and then if you dib, you dib, and if you dib, then
All
right?
you gotta do all you got to do is